Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Ranked Season 2 begins January 4th at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, which is January 5th for UTC. But the big question is, will Legendary Pokemon and Paradox Pokemon finally be available to use in Ranked? The answer is no, and we've actually had the answer since December 1st, because we have these Series 1 regulations for Ranked. Now, you might not have, looked into these regulations too much because they happened and then Ranked immediately started, so you might have been too busy getting a team together, and then you just think, well, in January it's going to change to the new season, so I might as well just wait for that. However, it says right here, Series 1 schedule, December 2nd to January 31st, and it includes Ranked Season 1 and Season 2. The only thing that's a little odd is it says battle format. Season 1 will follow Series 1 regulations, but it doesn't say anything specifically about Season 2, so maybe like a small update to the Pokemon that are usable. But that's looking mostly unlikely, and we just say, hey, Series 1 schedule, that's going to be what we have. So effectively, Season 2 Ranked is going to be what we're already dealing with. So if you just lost a lot of motivation from that news, I can't really blame you. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Series 1 has really felt like one of the worst metagames ever in Pokemon. I love Pokemon Sword and Shield for the first couple of seasons, and then it started getting pretty ugly. Olive was pretty good, but man, Pokemon Let's Go had the best competitive in a very, very long time, and then things got kind of weird. So one thing is, I made Legendary Pokemon. I've been doing multiple streams setting up for Series 2 with Paradox Pokemon and Legendary Pokemon, and even though we had the news that they wouldn't be usable and I just didn't really pay enough attention to it, I don't care. Because one thing I said is, at some point, Legendary Pokemon and Paradox will be allowed for Ranked, so getting the work out of the way is good, and it means you got another month to catch up. However, playing competitive Pokemon February 1st, months after the game came out, I don't know if the hype's going to be there. There's already no English players on the ladder. I'm mostly just kind of waiting to see what happens with the battle data, because that's going to be coming out soon. So, update to Pokemon Home, slated for early 2023, will let you check out the battle data, and I guess it's kind of neat if it's on the same season, because you can kind of take what you learned from Season 1, and then apply it with the extra information that's going to be the same for Season 2. It is unfortunate that we don't have comprehensive battle data to work with for the start of Ranked. So I feel like that's going to kill some motivation as well. And am I crazy? Because I can't exactly remember since it was just the insanity of YouTube and competitive, but didn't the Global Link have pretty much immediate battle stats? Wasn't that updating every week or something? And I feel like Pokemon Sword and Shield was also a lot quicker to kind of getting all of this stuff set up. Something just kind of feels weird with all of this, and it's even weirder because we have the big open world Pokemon game that brought tons of competitive quality of life, yet no one's really playing in the format and there's nothing to go off of. But depending on when this launches, if this launches mid-season and we can pull up the dates for the seasons again, I mean, that early 2023 is kind of way too vague. I'm wondering if this actually just kind of means Pokemon Day in late February, that we get the big Pokemon Home update as a part of the announcement and all the reveals we get for Pokemon Day, or something like that. However, if it's mid-January we get the update, that could bring a lot of hype, or at least breathe a little bit of life into the dead Ranked formats, because hey, at least you get to see what's actually wrecking you. Oh, I lost to the moveset that's 3% usage. Oh, the terastallizing isn't even tracked on Pokemon Home with this one. Great. So at least makes you feel less crazy, maybe, and that could be a bit fun, but yeah, I don't really know what's going on with this. Now, as for why I thought it was going to be adding in Legendary Pokemon, it's kind of what Pokemon Sword and Shield trained us with, because Series 1, Season 1, the first one was a different rule set from Series 2, Season 2. So now it's kind of stacking, which is what ended up happening later for Pokemon Sword and Shield. But there was actually a reason to update it so much, because we were getting exclusive Dynamax Pokemon through the Dynamax event raids. You might not remember, but yeah, Pokemon were just straight up not usable because they hadn't been officially released through the raids. And then we got DLC updates with the Olive Armor, and effectively the series kept up with the seasons in a more predictable way. But what makes this so weird is that the usable Legendary Pokemon aren't allowed. It's really unprecedented. Same thing for the post-game Pokemon, like with the Paradox Pokemon. I can understand, you know, the first season, the first month or so, hey, people just got the game, there's always going to be some kind of hacking problems, let people catch up, make it a bit more fair of a playing field, and then we can kind of let in the more powerful Pokemon, maybe let the meta settle, maybe see what ends up happening. I feel like the only way this would be extra acceptable is if they actually do live balance patches, so like Series 2 actually kind of gets a balance patch of its own, then we get some chaos, and then it updates, and then there's going to be like DLC or something, but also Pokemon coming in. What happens with Charizard? What happens with Cinderace? Because now we're getting these special raid Pokemon, and as we saw with Pokemon Sword and Shield, those Pokemon eventually became usable, and then like Pokemon Home is going to allow for some Pokemon coming in, so Pokemon Home that's updated for spring on the transfers. Compatibility between Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Home is slated for spring 2023, and that's going to bring in Pokemon Legends Pokemon, so that's going to be like a whole new series, and I think that's going to kind of line up depending on how they do it, like maybe February until mid-March, maybe that could be like its whole season and a series, and then mid-March or maybe April, depending on when the update comes out. Yeah, update comes out in March, and then April could be Series 3, and then that's going to be all of the special Terra Pokemon, plus Pokemon Home, plus some other stuff. We have spring 2023 being when online competitions start. So whatever's being balanced for, we're just not in it with Season 1. Is that why Season 1 feels kind of chunky and awkward? Because now it's like bulk determined, because we don't have Pokemon Legends forms coming in. We don't have all the legendary Pokemon bringing extra power, maybe some extras from Pokemon Home or something. It really seems like all the competitive stuff isn't getting too much care in Generation 9, again, which is weird because of all the competitive quality of life, but there hasn't been like a big push to get people playing, and it feels like less people are playing competitive than Pokemon Sword and Shield, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold way better and has more accessibility. Everything is just effed in the Pokemon community right now. As for the current state of things and how I feel about Season 2 starting, not that motivated either. You know, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I wanted to battle. I wanted to compete. I wanted to go ham. And especially for the first online competition. I made it to 3rd place in Galar Beginnings. I had the game red. I was feeling it. You know, I was winning battles. I was dominating ranked. Galar Beginnings just really, like, cemented that as well. But then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet landed, and it's just a mess. A big problem I have is that it's too wacky, it's too unpredictable with, like, Gargantuar being added in, Golden Go, a lot of the other weird interactions with the Pokemon, different movesets. Terastallizing, I understand, was going to add diversity and kind of just artificially lower or shuffle around win rates. But even the way things are now, like, almost every game just feels more luck dependent than ever, and it's harder to care like that, especially when no one is really playing. Well, saying no one is playing is wrong, because I'm pretty sure like when the Pokemon Home data comes out, it's going to be on par, if not more people than Pokemon Sword and Shield, but it's all Asian players. There's certainly less non-Asian players playing right now, especially Americans, and it's just kind of making it more brutal and grindy and less satisfying at the end. I was really hoping that Season 2 would be a Series 2 and allow Paradox Pokemon and or Legendaries to at least spice up the really bad Season 1. There's like a 5% chance maybe it just like gets the new shuffling, again because of how the data is coming through. Maybe Game Freak can just go, yeah, we'll update and allow Legendary Pokemon against schedule just because of the current state of things. But I'm not having fun. I'm not looking forward to it. I might just get Master as a formality as I do, and that's kind of it. I don't feel really disappointed that I wasted, or like that I spent time getting legendaries, because they will be usable. So then I get to have fun, and then I'm also like full mental, full energy, ready to go. But until then, it's like I don't even know what I'm going to do for like a team that I need to use seriously, that needs to win for Season 2. But I'm not going to try to like rank 1, so I just need to go positive enough to get to Master. And then that means I can use more of January to just kind of build out more competitive Pokemon, kind of wrapping up the moveset guides, getting some more inspiration, because there's been some really cool ideas, where it's like, yeah, we look at Glamora, that thing's actually really strong. I want to try out the Arboliva, and yeah, I did the legendary movesets and Paradox Pokemon, so we can get some of those done as well, and then we're gonna have something that comes in with like all the Pokemon Home updates. So the next couple of seasons are looking good. The problem is, like, months after the game comes out, that's when the longevity starts to drop off and the interest as well. So it could hit its stride when less people care than ever, but then bounce back for DLC, and that could be interesting. So right now it's just kind of but I guess it's nice to have a bit of a break after all the madness of just launch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but then no one cares after that. So I don't know, kind of in a weird spot, but that's what's going on with like legendary Pokemon usage for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the ranked seasons. We're going to see how it plays out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.